You guys, I have tried to film this video 3 times now and my toddler keeps running in here, whining and crying for snacks, and she's thirsty and like, toddlers are so rough. So if you hear her in the background, it's because she's 3 and there's really nothing I can do about it. So I'm not going crazy at all. It's so hard to get anything done with a toddler, especially when you work from home and you're a student from home and like, oh Lord. That is why I wake up at the butt crack of dawn. But that's not what this video is about, so what's up you guys? Welcome back. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about another episode in my Locked Up With series. Today's video is going to be locked up with a high-profile inmate, so I'm gonna break all of that down for you guys today. But if you are new here and you have never seen any of my videos, I just want y'all to know I'm not glorifying or glamorizing going to jail or prison. There is nothing fun or sexy about it, and I'm pretty sure that the stretched out sports bras and the granny panties are a really good example to that. So don't go, don't break the law. 0 out of 10 on Yelp. No, seriously though, it is my hope that in sharing my stories, you guys will be deterred from making the same mistakes I made, or to just bring awareness on what it actually is like to go to prison or jail or battle with all the things that I battle with. So if this is the first video you're seeing of me, maybe pause this one and watch other videos just to get kind of a backstory on who I am. All right, so without further ado, let's get into Locked Up With a high-profile inmate. Now, what is a high-profile inmate? So county jails will categorize you as a high-profile inmate if your case is all over the news. So if you're on the TV, if you're in the newspapers, if every inmate knows every detail of your case, that would be high profile. So let's back up. Before I went to jail, I was selling meth in Fort Smith, Arkansas in 2011. Now, I got a call from baby daddy. It was around 10 p.m., maybe a little later, 10-11 p.m. And he said in kind of a panic, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm with so-and-so." And he said, "You need to get home right now. These women were just shot for selling drugs." And I'm like, what? Like, first of all, I know the circle that I'm around and I trusted them enough to not shoot me, right? So I'm like, dude, I'm fine. I'm fine. That sucks that someone got shot, but like, I'm good. He said, "No, you need to get home right now." I'm like, okay, I'll be right there, with no intention of coming home. 0, like literally less than 0. I did not plan on leaving. I did not plan on going home. About 20 minutes later, he calls me again and he said, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm with so-and-so, I'm good." And he said, "I'm gonna come pick you up then." So he came to pick me up and I get in the car and he's looking really nervous. I'm like, "What is going on?" He said, "Did you not hear me when I called you? Did you not hear me when first I spoke?" What movie is that from? No, he's like, "Did you not hear me when I called? These women got shot for selling drugs." And I thought, okay, but I'm not gonna get shot, like I'm fine. Because you always think it's not gonna happen to you when you're running around in the street. You always think that you're okay and you have everything under control and you trust your people. You always think that. But deals go bad all the time, which is why being in that world is so dangerous. So we go home, he turns on the news, probably the 12 o'clock news, and he shows me, and it was so tragic, you guys. So we saw on the news that 3, maybe 4 women were shot. 3 of them, I think, were killed. 2 or 3 were killed, and 1 was pregnant, you guys. And I just can't even imagine what that woman's family went through in dealing with that loss. So the news doesn't really report every detail of the case. All they had said was it was a drug deal gone bad, and this man, who is now wanted, shot these women because he was, I guess, looking for their boyfriends, because their boyfriends had basically ripped him off, right? So I was like, dang, that sucks, but I'm not gonna rip anyone off, so I'm fine. You know what I mean? And I kept trying to tell baby daddy, I'm okay, I'm safe. You don't need to follow me around, like it's fine. But he was just so concerned for my safety, which I appreciated, but it was like, damn, dude, like that really sucks. Again, I can't even imagine what that family went through losing those women. I can't imagine what, I just can't even imagine this. So 2 months go by and I am now in a segregation cell in Sebastian County. Now, I had been written up all the time in Sebastian County. I was constantly getting in trouble, constantly getting caught with contraband, constantly getting caught passing kites to Jason. I was always in trouble for some reason or the other. So I was in a segregation cell, And the person in the cell next to me, we shared a vent and we just started talking. She told me her name, but it was like a nickname, so I didn't think anything of it. Now, I did know the women's names involved in this shooting. And finally, we just were bored, so we talked. I'm like, dude, why are you here? And she said, I'm here for possession of a firearm while on parole. And I thought, oh man, that sucks. I just felt bad because when you are in the street and you're a dealer, you want to defend yourself, and it is a constitutional right to own a firearm in the United States. But when you're on parole, they will send you right back to prison for that. So I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, oh, felon in possession of a firearm happens all the time, right? So a few days had gone by. I think I was doing like a 30-day, was it 30? Maybe 15. I was either serving 15 days in SEG or 30 days in SEG. So the days kind of went by and we just started talking, and she said, the reason why I had a firearm, New York, was because me and my homegirls were gunned down. And I thought, what? So I'm like, you're not in SEG because you got in trouble. I never saw you come into the unit. So now I'm like starting to put it together. And I said, what's your real name? And when she told me, I was like, dang, dude. So I asked her what happened. And when I asked her, it's hard to explain what this SEG unit was like in a county jail, but it was like a green room. That's not what they called it. That's what they called it in New York. Dang, what'd they call it in Arkansas? I don't remember, but it was a little unit, so I could get out of my cell and walk around for an hour a day, and it wasn't in GP, it was like a separate thing, and it was very, very small. It probably looked like the size of my bedroom with like 4 or 5 segregation cells. So I'm walking around, I'm like, what happened? And she said, what happened was my homeboy was selling a pound of weed to this guy, and he ripped them off. So the guy that ended up shooting them had taken them hostage, and he was texting and he's like, yo, I got your baby mama and her friends. You have 2 hours to get here with my money or the weed, or I'm killing your baby mama. And basically the story goes that the dude that ripped the guy that has taken these women hostage off, he called his bluff. He said, you're not gonna kill anyone. And he called out the wrong dude. That guy didn't care, and he did exactly that. He shot the pregnant woman and killed her with the first shot, shot 2 other women, and then the girl that is now with me shot her a few times, but she lived. I can't imagine the PTSD that comes from that, from seeing your friends gunned down in front of you, from almost dying yourself. Now, of course, there's no way of actually knowing what really went on. There's what the news said, then there's what she said, who even knows? But the facts of the case are those women did die, and she was shot, and she even showed me the bullet wounds. So she was shot in the leg, she was shot in the stomach, and she was shot, I guess on the side. So, oh, you guys, I can't even imagine the PTSD that comes from that, from seeing your friend shot and killed in front of you. So of course she wants to carry a gun. Of course she wants to protect herself. If that was me, I would always be looking over my shoulder. I would always be scared, right? So now I'm in the segregation cell with her, and I'm hearing the story, and I just thought, oh, I can't imagine what you went through. So the whole time that she was in county jail waiting to go to prison on her violation, they kept her segregated. And I just think that's unfair, but I understand why the jail does that. So I ended up making friends with another girl in this county jail, and she had a jail boyfriend. Now what that is she was writing postcards to this guy, and this guy was writing back. So a month or so goes by, I'm out of SEG and I'm back in GP, and I am I'm cellmates with 2 girls, one of which passed away, and I miss her so much. She was so amazing. Her name was Angela, and she would always say, hey girl, hey, and like her energy was just so amazing. So every time I hear the term hey girl, hey, I always think of her. She was friends with Jason, she was friends with me, and she passed away. Anyway, another girl that was in our cell, she was writing this guy, and she really liked this guy. And then one day I just happened to see the name on the postcard, and I was like, I'm sorry, are you writing this guy that gunned down and killed 3 innocent women, one of which was pregnant? Are you serious? So keep in mind, I'm a pregnant woman, so I'm like really sensitive to stories like that right now, and I'm like, I can't believe that you're like in love with him, saying how great he is because you guys write postcards back and forth. Like, girl, no. Like, no. So I got in a disagreement with that celly about that because you gunned down a pregnant woman. Like, no, not acceptable, not okay. I'm not saying I have never been friends with a lifer, because y'all know I have, but this was a different kind of thing, you know what I mean? And when you're living in a cell with someone, you feel like you're your friend, and I was talking to her like I would talk to any of my friends. If you are in love with someone that gunned down a pregnant woman, I'm gonna tell you, you need to stop. You need to stop that relationship because this is dangerous. So what ended up happening to this guy is he got life without, I think he got 3 or 4 life sentences. I'm not exactly sure the number because I'm not sure if they count the baby, which I'm sure they do. So he's never gonna get out of prison. So my friend from jail is safe. But I just remember being so angry with her. I'm like, girl, you can't write and be in love with this guy. This is not the guy. This is not the guy, okay? And I know that can be kind of confusing to other people as well. Like, how can you get so close writing letters? But you can. Like, I have seen women fall head over heels in love writing letters. And I do get this question a lot too, so I might as well just throw it in here since I'm on the topic of letters. Is every inmate a pen pal scammer? And the answer to that is no. No. Are there pen pal scams in prison? Yes. Do people try to take advantage of others in the street or even in that facility? Yes, it happens. But I've seen people literally head over heels in love just writing letters. I think you can get close to someone in letters. So, you know, it's kind of like falling in love on Facebook and then meeting in real life. People do that? I don't know if people do that. No idea. Anyway, kind of the same thing. So you can get close to someone in a letter and you can fall in love in a letter. I totally get it. But my celly that was writing this guy, I just had to kind of step in and be like, girl, no. So anyway, I go to prison and I am standing in a segregation shower. I always see this girl when I'm in seg. That's so funny. I just realized that now. I'm standing in a seg shower and she wheels in the trays and she has a hairnet and I wasn't paying attention. I'm like, I just want to get out of the shower. They left me in the shower for 6 hours. I will leave that story on the card up here if I don't forget. Y'all remind me. But she brings in the trays and I see her and I call out to her and I'm like, girl, how are you? Are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm good. They gave me a year denial. And I thought, on a firearm possession? Like, what? So this woman with severe PTSD that was carrying a firearm to protect herself because she was so scared that she was going to be shot at again, goes to prison on a violation of parole because she had a firearm and she was a felon. And then the parole board gave her a year denial because she was a felon in possession of a firearm. And I did see this girl's paperwork when we were in seg. I knew that that was the only charge. So it just felt really unfair to take 1.5 years of this woman's life away because she had a firearm, you know? I mean, yes, you're not supposed to have a firearm. Take the firearm, maybe give her a 60-day violation. I don't know what you have to do, but 1.5 years, I think that's just so unfair. So hopefully she's doing okay now and she's off of parole and she is working through her PTSD. That is all that I can hope for her. I can't even imagine what she must go through on a daily basis. All right, I'm gonna end today's video here. Make sure to give me a thumbs up so that I know that you like this series and I will continue to make them for as long as you guys wanna hear them. Stay safe, stay sober, do not break the law, and I'll see y'all in my next one.